An aggressive state of mind might turn a contender into a champion, but what happens when it affects life outside of the ring? Here are 11 successful boxers with the worst criminal records. Today's video was requested by Tarek Fighter. If you have any other topics you'd like to learn about, subscribe and let us know in the comments section below. Number 11. Anthony Joshua. With a spotless record of 19 wins, all by way of knockout, 27-year-old Anthony Joshua is world heavyweight champion. But there were times in his past when, by his own admission, his life seemed to be heading in a different direction. In 2009, he was on remand in Reading prison for what he described as fighting and other crazy stuff. In March 2011, after being pulled over for speeding in North London, police found 8 ounces of cannabis hidden in his sports bag, and he later pled guilty to a charge of possession with intent to supply a Class B drug. 14 years is the maximum sentence for this crime, but Joshua's guilty plea and the amount found in his possession saw him receive a more lenient sentence of 12 months community service and 100 hours of unpaid work. Although suspended by Team Great Britain, Joshua cited this period as the turning point in his life. Dedicating himself to boxing, he won gold medal at the London 2012 Olympics in the super heavyweight division before turning pro and ultimately becoming the heavyweight champion. Number 10. Jake LaMotta. Some remember the former world middleweight champion who died in September 2017 as having one of the toughest chins in boxing history. LaMotta proved this in his 6-bout rivalry with Sugar Ray Robinson, who's widely considered to be the best pound-for-pound boxer of all time. Others remember LaMotta as the inspiration for Martin Scorsese's critically acclaimed film Raging Bull that earned Robert De Niro the Academy Award for Best Actor. After his retirement, LaMotta became a stage actor and stand-up comedian. He also owned and managed bars. In 1958, he was charged with introducing men to an underage girl at one of his Miami clubs. The former champ served 6 months on a chain gang. Even after his release, LaMotta maintained that he was innocent. Number 9. Jack Johnson. For 13 years, he was the most famous and most notorious African American on earth. That was a description filmmaker Ken Burns attributed to Jack Johnson, who in the peak of the Jim Crow era became the first African American heavyweight boxing champion of the world. Johnson reigned supreme for 7 years and was famous for living life in the fast lane and refusing to conform to the segregation present in the United States at the time. As an African American, Johnson broke powerful taboos by consorting with white women. In 1913, he was convicted by an all-white jury for violation of the Mann Act, which refers to transporting women across state lines for prostitution and other immoral purposes. He fled the country but eventually turned himself into federal custody in 1920 and was sentenced to 1 year and a day in prison. His sentence sparked controversy and has been seen as being racially motivated because the Mann Act had not yet been passed when the incidents he was accused of took place. Number 8. Riddick Bowe. Riddick Bowe grew up in Brooklyn's Brownsville neighborhood. From a background of violence and poverty, he rose to become undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. In February 1998, he was convicted of kidnapping his estranged wife and their 5 children. In a bizarre attempt to reconcile his marriage, Bowe drove to his wife's North Carolina home and threatened her with a knife, pepper spray, duct tape, and handcuffs. Forcing his family into a vehicle, he headed for his home in Maryland. Bowe reportedly stabbed his wife in the chest during the kidnapping. Police freed the family when they captured Bowe in South Hill, Virginia. He pleaded guilty to interstate domestic violence and served 17 months in a federal prison. Number 7. Tommy Morrison. Aside from being WBO heavyweight champion, Tommy Morrison is also known for starring in the 1990 film Rocky V alongside Sylvester Stallone. His personal life was plagued by health issues and legal problems. In December 1993, he was charged with public intoxication and assault after allegedly punching a student from the University of Iowa for, as he described it, staring at him. Morrison retired from professional boxing in 1996 after testing positive for HIV. In October that same year, he received a 6-month suspended sentence after pleading guilty of transporting a loaded firearm. He was convicted for driving under the influence in 1997 after an accident that injured 3 people. In 1999, he was stopped by the police for driving erratically. Upon searching his vehicle, they found weapons and drugs, which led to other charges related to illegal substances and firearms, and in 2000, he was sentenced to 2 years. Number 6. Charles Sonny Liston. Sonny Liston wasn't known for his speed or footwork, but rather for his imposing physique, his massive fists, and for power to knock fighters out with both hands. His legacy is intertwined with that of Muhammad Ali when he was still known as Cassius Clay. Ali took the title from Liston in 1964 and successfully defended it against Liston the following year with a controversial first-round knockout. But despite his losses to Ali, Liston is still ranked as one of the best heavyweights of all time. But before becoming a champion, Liston was arrested numerous times for crimes ranging from muggings to assaulting a police officer and armed robbery. In 1950, he was sentenced to 5 years following a conviction on 2 counts of armed robbery. He was in prison, where he learned how to box and mastered the skills that would ultimately make him a world champion. Number 5. Floyd Mayweather Sr. In the early 90s, Floyd Mayweather Sr. was allegedly part of a drug ring that used detergent boxes to smuggle cocaine into the United States. In 1993, he was arrested for drug trafficking and was sentenced to 5 years in jail, of which he served 3. The former UBF champion retired with a record of 28 wins, 6 losses and 1 draw, and as a trainer helped his son, Floyd Mayweather Jr., to become a world champion and arguably the greatest defensive boxer of all time. Number 4. Mike Tyson. Power, outstanding speed, accuracy, timing, and superior defensive skills are what made Iron Mike Tyson the youngest heavyweight champion of all time when he was only 20 years old. In his own words, he was the baddest man on the planet. In his prime, he was almost invincible, and his fights were some of the most brutal and entertaining the sport has ever seen. In July 1991, Tyson was arrested for the alleged rape of 18-year-old Desiree Washington in an Indianapolis hotel room. Washington, a former Miss Black Rhode Island, claimed that the boxer assaulted her, while Tyson said it was consensual. Testimony from the emergency room physician that consulted Washington more than 24 hours after the incident claimed that her condition was consistent with rape. Tyson was convicted and sentenced to 6 years in prison. The sentence cost the 25-year-old 3 years of his prime, and although he regained his title, he was never quite the same fighter. Number 3. Carlos Monzon. Some say the anger and relentlessness with which Carlos Monzon fought was because of the poverty he faced in his early life. The Argentine boxer was the undisputed middleweight champion for 7 years and defended his title a total of 11 times. His professional record stands at 100 fights with 87 wins, 9 draws and 3 losses. Monzon was famous for his speed, power, and impervious chin. Unfortunately, he carried his aggression outside the ring as well. He faced numerous accusations of domestic abuse from his wives and mistresses and was also accused of beating up paparazzi. His lifestyle was characterized as glamorous and violent and was closely followed by the media and the Argentine people. In 1989, the former world champion was sentenced to 11 years after he was convicted of killing his wife, Alicia Muniz. In 1988, while the two were vacationing in Mar del Plata, Monzon had strangled Muniz before picking her up and pushing her off the balcony. Number 2. Edwin Valero. At the time of his death, Edwin Valero held championship belts in 2 different weight classes. The Southpaw was well known for his phenomenal punching power and aggressive style. He never lost a fight, and all of his 27 wins came via knockout. In September 2009, he was arrested on assault charges against his sister and his mother. He denied the allegations, and his mother told the media there had been no foul play. Valero was once again accused of assault in March 2010 after his wife was taken to hospital with bruises and a damaged lung. He was given 6 months of psychiatric rehabilitation, but less than a month later, in April 2010, 24-year-old Jennifer Carolina Vieira de Valero was found dead in a hotel. She'd been stabbed 3 times. Valero was taken to jail as he was considered the main suspect, and he allegedly admitted that he killed her. The day after he was taken into custody, Valero was found hanging in his jail cell by his pants. The official ruling was suicide. Number 1. Floyd Mayweather Jr. Considered one of the best boxers in history, Floyd "Money" Mayweather Jr. has achieved a lot in boxing. 15 world titles in 5 weight classes from 1996 to 2017. He retired undefeated with 50 wins, with his last fight a win against UFC superstar Conor McGregor. Despite the overwhelming ring success, Mayweather's private life has been riddled with domestic violence and battery charges, as well as jail time. In 2002, he was charged with 1 count of misdemeanor battery and 2 counts of domestic violence, and was ordered to perform 48 hours of community service. In 2004, after a conviction of 2 counts of misdemeanor battery against 2 women, he was given a year's suspended sentence and ordered to undergo counseling for impulse control. He received a 90-day suspended sentence in 2005 after pleading no contest to a misdemeanor battery charge after kicking and hitting a bouncer. But perhaps the worst moment was when he pleaded guilty to battering the mother of his children, Josie Harris, in front of his children. On December 21st, 2011, he was sentenced to 90 days in a county jail and charged with 2 counts of misdemeanor harassment for threatening his children, to which he pleaded no contest.
As you can see in the first picture, Valeria used to dress in goth clothing, which is in stark contrast to her new look in the next picture. Embodying the true nature of Barbie, Valeria sports large blue eyes, an incredibly tiny waist, and long legs.